Hello, I'm Irfan and I'm going to explain today the important features of IELTS listening. First of all, you need to take care of the important points and you should be focused while listening. And then you should be good enough to at least keep in your memory the important information which you hear from the recordings. Okay, so your STM should be short enough, your short-term memory, and you should be good in understanding the different accents of native speakers. And the another point is that you should try to find the synonyms for the words which you listen in the listening. As you hear the recording once, and you should be very attentive and be very careful. There are two key stages for IELTS listening. First is that you listen and you write the notes, and second stage is that you transfer the answers on the answer sheet. Okay, when you listen, you keep on writing the notes. What you listen, you transfer on the paper and predict the answers, because it's very important to guess the answers. Okay, and you have some time to read the questions before you listen to the recordings, and that time you should utilize to read the questions and predict the answers. And you wait for the words or the clues and the prompts which will help you to write the answers. And other than this, you should know the key words. The key words are important in recording as well, like in listening. You listen the key words and then you write their synonyms, because in the answers they don't write the same words, they write the synonyms in IELTS test. If you know the synonyms, like for example, the train leaves at, so the key word here is like leaves. So you should know what is another word for it, what could be another word for it, like it is departs, right? And you predict the answer in this way. So then there is leaves at, definitely the answer would be in the time. So at any time, train leaves at any time. Okay, and then there are many distractors in IELTS listening. Like you have two answers. Speakers talk to each other, as we have conversation of two speakers, conversation between two speakers in the first part of listening, and they talk in the social context. And in that context, when they talk to each other, first a speaker tells a date, and then the same speaker tells another date. So what could be the correct date, right? It's not always the first date which is correct, maybe the second date. So need to be careful and attentive while there are distractors, and these distractors actually are given there to make sure that you are attentive and you understand the information very well and you answer the information correctly. Okay, there are different accents in because it's an international test, it's the advanced level test. There are different accents in the IELTS, like we have Australian, we have British, we have South African accent, Australian, New Zealand and North American accent. So you need to listen, improve your listening, and you need to prepare before the test. Listen the radios, like there are online radios. ABC Australia will help you to improve your understanding of the Australian accent, and CBC Canada, that will help you to improve your North American accent, understanding of North American accent, and BBC Radio 4, because there are a lot of discussions in them, and like there are lectures and briefings, and that's quite close to the format in the IELTS listening. Okay, these radio stations, listening them will help you to understand accents very well. And then it's important to guess, as I've told you, because if you guess, then there are two reasons for this. That if your guess is wrong, if you're not sure about the answer, then you don't lose the points, because there is no negative marking there. And leaving spaces can get you in trouble. Like for example, if you don't write the answers and if you know the correct answer, but if you leave a space, and then you write the correct answer in the wrong space, so you will lose your marks, right? So these are certain points which will help you to improve your uh, listening and to do well in the listening test. And be very precise. When answer is, you're supposed to write an answer and the word is, the question paper asks you to complete a phrase and the answer is word morning, and you write in the morning, or you write the morning, right? So for that you have added one or two words which were not required, so you won't be given the marks for that despite the fact that you know the answer. So be careful about it. And other than this, because listening is done once only and there is no repetition of the information, what you would do, that you would in listening make notes, okay, and while you make notes, your time is over. At the end you have 10 minutes for transferring the answers on the answer sheet. So that time you should utilize for transferring your answers on the answer sheet. So your notes will be the reference with you which will help you to get the correct answer. But if you don't write notes, so you don't remember the information even, so you're lost, you don't remember what you listened, right? So it's very important to write the notes. And as you know, there are 4 sections. First is conversation between 2 speakers in the social context. It's comparatively an easier section. And section 2 is a monologue. It's one person's talk in the social context mainly, and that is comparatively more difficult than the first section. In monologue you need to infer the answers. Inferring is very important. Inferring means that you listen. Sometimes information is not direct, the clue and prompt is not direct, so you infer the answers. You understand from what you listened, okay? The answer is not direct, it is basic, your understanding, your you can say like indirect understanding of what is being said in the recordings. Other than this, you should be good at synonyms, your vocab. Prepare the words, like write one word and write synonyms for that word. That will help you. So then, if and I say that it's a 2-stage process. Listening, first you listen carefully, you write the notes, okay, you write the answers, read questions before you listen, and then section 2 or the part 2, the stage 2 is that you transfer the answers in the answer sheet. You're given 10 minutes at the end to transfer your answers in the answer sheet. And section 3, it's in the social context. There are 3 or 4 speakers talking in that section, and it's in the training context, or it's in the social context. You need to understand different people talking sometime. It's on a training context, a professor talking to the students, and like students talking to each other in research work. And this is in different contexts, in different background. And section 4 is a monologue. That is, you can say, the longest section of the listening, and that is the most challenging one, I can say, because it's in the educational context mainly. Okay, and when while doing your test, while doing your listening test, you can't ask the invigilator about the information given in the question paper itself. But if you are having problem in listening the sound, or the sound it's too crackly, or it's loud enough and you're not able to understand that well, or you're sitting far away from the speakers and the sound is not clear, then you can put up your hand and ask the invigilator to so that invigilator will help you.